Welcome to Sri Kishan Sharada College YouTube channel. Myself, Dr. Pinakpani Nath Chaudhary, Sri Kishan Sharada College, Hailakandi. Today, we are going to start a new topic. The name of the topic is biomolecules. Actually, biomolecules is under the chapter 9 of your syllabus. So, biomolecules are the molecules which actually constitute all the living bodies. Life occurs on Earth in varied forms and sizes. Apparently, they show wide diversity from one another. Yet, their basic chemical organization is remarkably similar. The elements that constitute the living bodies includes oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, etc. The molecules which are present in living bodies and are having lower molecular weight are called micromolecules, and their molecular weight individually is less than 1000 Dalton, and the molecules with higher molecular weight are called macromolecules, and their molecular weight individually is less than 10,000 Dalton. Macromolecules are acid soluble, while micromolecules are acid soluble, while macromolecules are acid insoluble. The whole biomolecules, the biomolecules which are present in the living bodies, can be grouped under four categories. One is carbohydrate, second one is lipid, third one is protein, and fourth one is nucleic acid. All of the above molecules are macromolecules. They are made up of different monomers, and they are composed of thousands of covalently bonded atoms. Next, carbohydrate. Carbohydrate are the compounds of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. To define carbohydrate accurately, we have to say that carbohydrates are optically active polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketones, or the compounds that yields these compounds on hydrolysis. So, I think it is well known to everyone that aldehyde and ketones are two functional groups. Actually, bond CHO is the aldehyde group and the double bond CO is the keto group. We know two well-known carbohydrate, and the name of that carbohydrates are glucose and fructose, and the chemical formula for these two compounds are C6H12O6. That is, they both the compounds are having the same chemical formula, but one is termed as glucose and the second one is the fructose. Why? Because the glucose contains the aldehyde group, on the other hand, the fructose contains the keto group. That means on hydrolysis, glucose yields aldehyde group and fructose yields keto group. Source of carbohydrates are basically the grain-based food from which we generally get the carbohydrate. We take basically rice as our food, and through rice we are actually getting the carbohydrate, or we are deriving the carbohydrate intake from these grains. The chemical makeup of carbohydrate is contains carbon, and hydrate actually contains oxygen and hydrogen in the ratio 2 is to 1, like in water. Carbohydrates are our main energy source, and generally 55 to 65% of daily caloric intake generally came from the carbohydrate only, and they are the polymers of and made up of different monomers, and the monomeric unit are the monosaccharide, and these monosaccharide or simple sugars are the building blocks of the carbohydrate. Actually, carbohydrates uh, can be grouped, or the monosaccharide can be based on the number of carbon atom present. For example, For 5 carbon monosaccharide, we shall generally term that 5 carbon carbohydrates are pentose, then 6 carbon is hexose, and 3 carbon is triose, and like this. Again, carbohydrate can be classified into the following groups. These are some examples of monosaccharide, that is glucose, fructose, and galactose. And this is the classification of carbohydrate. So carbohydrate can be classified into three major groups. One is monosaccharide. Example is glucose and fructose. Both the glucose and fructose are hexose sugar, and glucose is aldehydic, as I have mentioned earlier, and fructose is a ketose sugar. On the other hand, next type is oligosaccharide. Oligosaccharides actually they are made up of 2 to 10 units of monosaccharides, joining of 2 to 10 molecules of monosaccharide actually constitute the oligosaccharide. When two molecules of monosaccharide join to form the oligosaccharide, we generally term that type of carbohydrate as disaccharide. When three molecule unite, we term that as trisaccharide. When four molecule, it is tetrasaccharide, and so on. And one important thing to be mentioned here is that the bond between two monosaccharide unit when forming the oligosaccharide is termed as the glycosidic bond, or in other words, we can say that two monosaccharide units joins to the glycosidic bond. An example of a trisaccharide is raffinose. An example of tetrasaccharide is techiose. Next comes the uh, polysaccharide, and polysaccharide actually when more than 10 monosaccharide unit unite together, they form the polysaccharide. And actually they are made up of long chain of glucose linked by glycosidic bond. Simple sugars produced during photosynthesis are not utilized immediately. These simple sugars are monosaccharides. Thousands of such sugar molecules join with each other, forming long chain called polysaccharides. These are insoluble and function as reserve substances and structural components in plants, particularly in leaves, stems, seeds, and fruits. Polysaccharides on hydrolysis with specific enzyme yield monosaccharide and its derivatives. What are the rule of this polysaccharide? Actually, polysaccharides are complex carbohydrates which act structural components of plants cells as well as source of energy. Polysaccharides polysaccharides are made up of large number of monosaccharides. The monosaccharides are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in the ratio 1 is to 2 is to 1. Again, we can group this carbohydrate into two different categories. One is reducing sugar, and the other type is non-reducing sugar. Mono and disaccharide can be classified into two groups depending upon whether free aldehyde or ketone group are present or not. The sugar which have free aldehyde or ketone group can reduce CuSO4 to Cu2O. Such sugar are called reducing sugar, and this particular mechanism is generally used to detect the presence of sugar in urine, or in other words, it is this technique is used to determine the diabetes mellitus. With the help of Benedict solution, we can determine the presence of sugar in urine. And example of polysaccharide is starch. Starch is a large carbohydrate molecule made up of chains of glucose units. The carbohydrate reserve of the plant is starch. It is mainly stored in seeds, roots, and tubers of different plants. Starch is a white amorphous substance having no taste or color. It is one of the important carbohydrate of human diet which satisfies the energy need of most of the world population. Next comes the cellulose. It is a very stable polysaccharide. It is universally present in plants and forms the main constituent of cell wall of plant. Next comes the glycogen. Glycogen or animal starch is synthesized and stored mainly in muscles and liver in animal body. It is a polymer made up of exclusively glucose units and differ from starch in the pattern of branching. Glycogen is an important reservoir of stored energy and serves as the source of energy for the muscle and the as a glucose reserve in the liver. More other types of polysaccharides are there, for example, chitin, etc. And cellulose, for regarding cellulose, it is a structural polysaccharide made of 6,000 repeated units of beta glucose, and paper is made up of this cellulose. Next comes another important biomolecule. The name of that biomolecule is protein. And protein can be defined as a class of organic compounds which are made up of mainly carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, which yields amino acids on hydrolysis. Most protein molecules are long, so large and complex that it has not been possible to know much about their structure except their size and molecular formula. The structure of protein was first described by German chemist Emil Fischer in 1900. All proteins are polymers of amino acids. The amino acids are the monomers which join each other in long chains and act as the building blocks of protein. Amino acids are organic acids which contain at least one amino group, one carboxyl group. The amino group has basic properties whereas carboxyl group has acidic properties. The general structure of amino acid uh, is um, a chiral carbonatom attached to amino group and a carboxylic acid group. On the other hand, it is attached to a alkyl group and one hydrogen group. The amino acids of a protein are united with one another when their respective carboxyl groups join with the amino acid or amino group of the next amino acid by elimination of a water moiety. These types of bonds are called peptide bond. The bonding between two amino acid molecules forms the dipeptide, where three molecules of amino acid unite, then it is known as tripeptide. When many amino acids join, then it is termed as polypeptide. So proteins are regarded as very elaborate polypeptide chains of a large number of amino acids. A protein molecule is formed by one or more polypeptide through following stepwise changes like amino acid to peptides, peptides to polypeptides, and polypeptides to chain protein. Next comes the properties of protein. Proteins are large rod-like globular or fibrous molecules of high molecular weight that exist in colloidal state. Majority of protein are non-volatile, colorless, and tasteless amorphous solids. They do not have any definite boiling or melting point, and proteins are soluble in dilute salt solution, dilute acids, and alkalis. Proteins are actually amphoteric compound. Proteins are actually amphoteric compounds. They behave as acid to alkaline solution and alkalis to acidic solution and form salts with them. Protein may be acidic or basic depending upon whether it contains acidic amino acid or basic amino acid. And the one example or typical example of amino acid is the hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in blood. Next comes the biological significance of protein. So protein have different function within the animal body. The main biological function are as follows. That is, many protein are used as food. Both the animal and plant proteins are the major constituents of food of the animal kingdom. Basically, we take eggs, meat, chickens, etc., and they are the source of protein in our food. Proteins supply the essential raw material for the growth and development of living organisms. Different structures of the body, like skin, nail, hair, horns, connective tissues, cartilage, etc., are formed by proteins. The name of the proteins which constitute the hair is keratin, which is an undigestible protein. Some proteins act as hormones and thereby regulate the various physiological processes in our animal bodies. Like for example, insulin. Insulin is a protein secreted by the beta cell of our pancreas and is used, or it is being used by the body to maintain the blood sugar level. And the patient who are suffering from diabetes mellitus, they generally take this insulin to control their blood sugar level. All known enzymes are protein. These enzymes are catalysts and catalysts with specific function and are responsible for synthesis and breakdown of organic molecules. For example, in our digestion process, different digestive enzymes are used to digest the complex food material to the simpler one, so that our body can absorb the food material, digested food material. And these enzymes are nothing but protein. That means they are actually chemically they are protein. Some blood proteins functions to form the antibodies, which is generally used to treat different diseases. The mechanical works of the body are performed by contraction of muscles, which are dependent on specific types of proteins called contractile protein present in the muscle. Synthetic fiber can be made from proteins available from casein and soybean. So these are actually the biological significance of the protein. Next comes another important biological molecule, and this is nothing but the nucleic acid. And actually, there are two distinct types of nucleic acid. One is called deoxyribonucleic acid, or in short, it is known as DNA, which is exclusively found in the nucleus. The other is ribonucleic acid, or RNA. Some RNA is also found in nucleus, but most of them are present in cell cytoplasm. Actually, nucleic acids are very complex molecules having very high molecular weight. Nucleic acids are colorless, complex, amorphous compound made up of three elements, namely nitrogen, nitrogenous bases, sugars, and phosphoric acids. The molecules are macromolecule, consists of large number of simple units of monomers arranged in a linear fashion. These monomers are known as nucleotides, which are composed of a molecule of pentose sugar. What is pentose sugar? We have discussed earlier. One molecule of phosphoric acid and one molecule of nitrogenous bases. In nucleic acid, a phosphate moiety links in 3' carbon of one sugar of one nucleotide to the 5' carbon of sugar of next nucleotide. The bond between the phosphate and hydroxyl group of sugar is an ester bond. As there is one such ester bond in either side, it is called phosphodiester bond. So this is the ester bonds, and this is another ester. So due to the presence of these two ester bond, actually it is termed as the phosphodiester bonds. So this bond actually joins two adjacent sugars. So this is one pentose sugar, this is one pentose sugar, this is another, this is again pentose sugar, this is pentose sugar, this is pentone sugar, and these are the nitrogenous bases. So the deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, is a double-stranded structure. So this is the structure of a typical DNA, or as proposed by Watson and Crick. This particular model was actually described by Watson and Crick. The double strand is joined with each other by a nitrogenous base, which are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine, where adenine always joins with thymine, and cytosine generally joins with guanine by hydrogen bonds. So this is the hydrogen bond, and um, the, cytosine and thymine, where sorry, actually RNA is a single-stranded nucleic acid. The deoxyribonucleic acid is the most important and stable chemical molecule of the living cells, which carries the genetic information from generation to generation, except a few viruses. All living organism contains DNA. In bacteriophages and viruses, where there is a single molecule of DNA. In eukaryotic cell, DNA remains concentrated in the nucleus, especially in the chromosomes, in the form of long spirally coiled and unbranched threads. The functions of DNA are like that. DNA is the carrier of all genetic information, and DNA controls all the life processes of cells, as it has the potentiality to carry all kinds of important biological information. DNA is responsible for RNA synthesis. DNA guides, controls, and regulates the process of protein synthesis. And RNA is actually single stranded molecule. RNA is of following types, that is messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, and transfer RNA. RNA occurs normally as long unbranched polymeric molecules in the form of a single chain. Although RNA exists mainly in the cytoplasm, about 10 to 20% of the cell RNA is found in nucleus. RNA is a macromolecule like DNA formed by the several nucleotides arranged in a linear sequence. The function of RNA are mRNA actually carries the coded information from DNA to synthesis of protein. rRNA helps in locating mRNA on ribosome, and tRNA acts as a carrier of proteins. Actually, if we want to differentiate between the DNA and RNA, we can say that in DNA, except in some mitochondria, it occurs mainly within the nucleus, but RNA it is present mainly within the cytoplasm. DNA is usually double-stranded except some viral DNA, but RNA is mainly single-stranded. DNA contains a large number of nucleotides up to 4.3 million, but RNA contains fewer nucleotides up to 12,000. DNA contains the pentose sugar deoxyribose, but RNA contains the pentose sugar ribose. The nitrogenous bases in DNA are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. But in case of RNA, the nitrogenous bases are same with DNA, except that thymine is being replaced by uracil. DNA is of only single type, but RNA is mainly of three types: mRNA, tRNA, and rRNA. DNA is the genetic material except in some viruses. RNA is the genetic material only in some viruses. Genetic messages are usually coded in DNA. Specific message for protein synthesis is usually coded in RNA. DNA can be stained with fuel jar stain, but RNA can be stained with basic dyes. So these are the basic difference between the DNA and the RNA. So these are the basic biomolecules actually which are incorporated into the reduced syllabus prescribed by Assam Higher Secondary Education Council for the session 2020-21. And the next chapter we will discuss about the enzymes. With these few words, I would like to conclude. Thank you.